towards the off lane or mid lane even, and just play that +1 in the lane, harassing people back, stopping pulls, pissing people off. But I think Disruptor here is just going to be sitting with Frost in the safe lane, playing defensively against whatever comes their way.
10 seconds remaining.
Singularity still keep things open. DP and Tiny interchangeable in their lanes.
Remaining. Radiant team ban.
Gareth, your casting is similar to my sex life. It's great, but sadly only happens once a year. Oh, you got me. You got me.
10 seconds remaining.
Who is the caster? I am the caster.
5 seconds
Look
remaining.
at me. I am the caster now.
Radiant
where was I?
pick.
I'm getting distracted by chat. TB and CK removed from the pool, and Abaddon picked up. It looks like some pretty strong dual lanes going on. Abaddon, Bane, Witch Doctor, Tiny, and then DP sits mid against the Viper.
10 seconds remaining.
And they could swap things around depending on what this
5
final pick
seconds
is from the
remaining.
final tribe. Could maybe do with some big nuke damage. You know, I'm looking at Juggernaut just having Omni Slash as a huge chunk of damage just flying into someone. When they're roared up, or when they're hit by Viper Strike, focus down someone like the DP. But then you're looking at Abaddon and DP, and they'll have Yule Scepter, they'll have Borrowed Time. So it is a little more difficult to gauge how and when you want to actually deal the damage coming into people. Honestly, an OD would be a good pick here, I feel like. Astral against Borrowed Time. DP can burst down DP... Sorry, OD can burst down DP and Tiny with Arcane Orb and Sanity's Eclipse. You've got another saving mechanism there. Keep people out of danger. But then what are you left with? OD safe lane with a Disruptor. I think that could work. I think that could work. But that would maybe mean that Frost goes on the Viper and Era plays the OD. Because that's the way that the final tribe have really been running their drafts a lot of the time. I don't know if Frost's hero pool is deep enough. He's kind of a lifestealer, gyro, you know, Tiny player. I'd say those are his big three. Occasionally brings out, you know, like a Lycan or something along those lines. What's it going to be? A Slark.
Select your heroes.
Oh, that's an interesting pick. So Frost with a Slark. We've been seeing this hero come up in high-level pubs a little more frequently recently. You know, people have been messing around with the Battle Fury build, like Battle Fury, S and Y, going for a Silver Edge here and there. Maybe an Orchid. Could be something that Frost looks towards. Definitely an interesting hero, as it appears that Adamson on the DP and Mastermind on the Tiny. Potentially going to go for that mid-Tiny up against the Viper, but we'll see how they set up their lanes. Is there no Russian stream? There must be a Russian stream, guys. I'm sure there is. I'm sure somewhere on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or Smashcast or something, there's going to be a Russian stream somewhere. Right, I'm going to stop sitting back and relaxing, chilling. My window's open because it's bloody warm. And of course, the Pangolier of Pablo spamming the taunt. Go for it, mate. Do it now. Come on. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. How are we setting up our lanes then? Mikey, swinging up towards top. Mastermind, it looks like he's got the mid build. Null Tally, first up on the Witch Doctor for Bashruk. While Adamson, yeah, side lane build to the DP. They've got this defensive tri-lane. I really thought they'd go dual lanes here. Maybe a little bit afraid of Beastmaster +1 in this offlane position, being a little bit too difficult to handle. As Hansken, he gets himself a nice lane ward down. Not spotted just yet by the Radiant Observer board. They see Pablo coming in. And guys, he's doing it again. He's got 8 javelins queued up. He has been pulled 1 tango, and he has not spent any of his money. Javelin costs 1100, but he's going to need a couple of bounty runes to get this one going again. Well in cuts, Mikey. All the way through the trees. What a wonderful journey this Abaddon is having.
The battle begins.
Deep in behind enemy lines. Double up his wave. I'm interested to see where he drags it. Oh, we've got a drag back as well here. Yunasan fan. Bashruk not leveling anything up just yet, so Yunasan fan maybe in a little bit of trouble as Mikey is being forced away himself. And he's got his creep wave heading back towards the lane, and Yunasan fans had to go for the long walk around. So mid lane, Bane and Tiny up against Era on the Viper. Pablo's looking for potentially a courier snipe. We'll see how that one pans out. As Yunasan fan is still going for a wander in the middle of the forest. Doesn't have a picnic basket. Only a couple of hatchets. Makes things awkward for Adamson, who's already tanking up a whole creep wave. Era enfeebled up. 4 and 1 on the Tiny. This is going to get dangerous for the Viper as things get a little out of hand. Creep wave. Oh, he's lost the range creep. Range creep's gone off on his own little mission. It's having a journey of its own. How's Mikey doing? What's he up to? He's got 1 CS, and he is being bullied by Pablo and Hanskin. Thunderstrike is there, but they won't expend it just yet. Holding on to the mana. Conserving their resources, at least for now. Soul and Mastermind 7-2 against 2-1. I think the dual lane has worked out, but there's Mikey. Shield up. No glimpse. And another Aphotic shield. We'll keep him in the lane for now, while down bottom, Yunasan fan dropping low with a Spirit Siphon from Adamson coming in. Might have to go for a TP play, but Bashruk, no cask, and Yunasan fan is going for this long walk through the trees, but it looks like he's given his life away for it. Interested to kind of figure out why he didn't go for the TP there. Seemed like the best option with the cask already being used up. Could maybe have TP back to his tier 1, secured maybe a bounty rune or 2, but it looks like as soon as he's returned from Fountain, full HP, full mana, he'll spam out some axes. Get straight back into the face of Adamson. Is this haste rune a kill rune? Era, where are you? Are you going bottom lane? I thought you might. I thought you might. He's heading down towards bottom. He's spotted by Bashruk. They know he's coming, but are they fast enough to move? The TP from Adamson is going to have to come now. They don't have any stuns, so there's no way they're killing the DP, in fact. Nice move. As the Radiant spot the aggressive Viper coming in. He does lose out on a little bit in the mid lane, but Era has stuck around down at bottom, looking still for this kill. But Death Prophet maneuvering very deftly around the creep wave, and her own tier 1 keeps herself nice and safe. What does Era do now? Does he TP back towards mid? Mikey? He looks like he's okay. Oh, hello. Hello. Here it comes. Here comes the javelin. 3 minutes in. 3 minutes 20. So like 40 seconds later than he got it in the other game. I'm not disappointed. It's still first item javelin. And Mikey, he's going to be wondering what the... okay. He's going to be wondering what the hell Pablo's doing. Missing his swashbuckle. Turned around on Mikey now with a shield. Pressures forward. Frost has a pounce. Lands it onto the Abaddon, and Mikey looks like he is in way too much trouble. No missed coil to get the deny out there. So loses his own life. Radiant, where are you scanning? Looking for Beastmaster. Yunasan fan. Oh, dead again in a soft lane, isn't he? Maledict ticks, and Bashruk dances around. As the Beastman sent 6 feet under into that grave of his.
Precious bounty. Precious bounty.
I mean, I know we can remove Thunderstrike. I literally said he's not casting it to conserve his resources. Failfish Twitch chatter, not listening to what the caster's saying. Taking things out of context. The absolute classic. Oh, you have a DD. Yeah, taken in feeble. Era, how do you like that? Mastermind still has a salve to go. But the 8-2 Viper is not having a good time at all. And Mikey's having a pretty good time top. He's only got the one death. But compared to Beastmaster, I guess Jonas Fan is ahead in experience. About half a level ahead. He's about 600 now worth ahead as well. But even with the couple of deaths that Jonas Fan's had, he's applied a lot more pressure, he's got a lot more experience, and a lot more farm from this lane. Mikey has just been bouncing around, trying to find somewhere to sit. Fortunately, all the seats have spikes and thunder strikes around here. This is the most obnoxious shit ever. Minus 60. Avalanche in. Bashrook, he'll arrive, but the toss back onto the Viper, not going to actually go back, just held in place for a little while as the cast holds the advance. And Hansken's TP will not amount to anything. I swear, Pablo only plays this hero so he can spam taunt. You don't care. Oh, an Invis rune. Very big. Pablo. He wants that Bane, but Mastermind pummels Era, has to Fairy Fire. May not have been enough damage to kill him off, but there's a dive down bottom that we're missing out as the mid-action again comes to nothing. Adamson, Exorcism, the third death of the game there for Jonas Fan. As we're looking at a very quick earn from Bashrook. So kind of a possible Witch Doctor now as they go in with another Spirit Siphon, but there's the raindrops, so Beastmaster pretty healthy down in this bottom lane just to continue as he's going.
Radiant's top tower.
Pablo going to go in for this. Got himself the Svashbuckle, and with the Wild Axes, Bashrook is dead. Maledict and Spirit Siphon looks like it's tickling away at Jonas Fan, but that's nowhere near enough damage to bring him down. They can't really turn on the DP. Is Mastermind gonna... No, he's not gonna dive that. Era knows better. Doesn't quite know where the Bane is. Could have been lurking just behind the Tiny. Having fun, Mikey. Oh, the life of an offlaner, but he's being cut off. Not just by Slark, but by Pablo as well. Glimpse back into the waiting arms of the pouncing Slark, and Mikey gets obliterated this time by the Swashbuckle, up to level 2. Pablo finally gets the job done with that early Javelin. And Slark, we're looking at, what, 52 and 19, yet to decide what itemization he's going to go for. But it looks like the Treads Aquila into Magic Wand is maybe a little more indicative of the kind of old school or more standard build with the just Shadow Blade into, you know, like a Lincoln's, a BKB. Maybe an S&Y will come out as a stopgap stat item to bring Frost into the playing field. But he finds Mikey again. He knows there's no ult. Level 4 Abaddon. And this is difficult for Mikey, but there's no glimpse back. Hansken with it still on cooldown, unable to capitalize. It's bottom again, Jonas Fan falling. Adamson and Bashrook really putting the pain in. But ideally, they want to swap their lanes around. No tier 1 here. Oh, gee. Well, why? Okay, that's my bad, I guess. Frost is just hunting. He's at the shrine hunting the Abaddon. Dear Lord. But yeah, with no tier 1 here, and I don't think this is strategically important at all. Yeah, Adamson is swapping lanes. Early Vitality booster. He's aiming towards drums, but that's an interesting one. And you do often go Aeon Disc as kind of your third item on DP. I've seen some Yules into Aeon Disc, honestly. after phase boots. So that's likely, I feel, what he's going to go for. We don't see Octarine all that much anymore because it's much like... we just play the game at a much faster pace nowadays. Where Octarine, you know, as a 5th or 6th item, sure, could be great on a DP if the game goes to like 60, 70 minutes, where you've got Octarine, you've got Refresher, you've got all these kind of actives with Shiver's Guard and all that good stuff. Oh, obviously. But, yeah, I think Eon Disc is what he's setting up for here. Pops the Ghost. Tier 1 in trouble, but look at the backstab. Frost and Hansken. Solar nightmares himself, but in comes Pablo. Slaps down the Bane. Adamson turns back with the Spirit Siphon damage. They'll clear him up. They've managed to keep the Ghosts away from the Tier 1 for now, though. They're bringing in more. Arcane Rune, Era Viper arriving. Adamson with a TP out. There's nothing to stop it, so he will escape successfully while the Witch Doctor left to his own devices. Bootsless Bane, Witch Doctor earn. He'll hit level 6 with that wonderful little tome as well, rushing straight into the Spirit Vessel. Yeah, I'm just missing kills all over the place now. Double Javelin for Pablo.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's coming in. He wants to fight. He wants the tiny.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, some big old T-tours happening today. You're gonna have some fun with no TP scroll. Looks like he's gonna drop. Turns with the roar back onto DP, but in comes the rolling Pablo. Adamson bounced around here. Still a swashbuckle ready to go. He throws himself back down towards the creep camp, but now might be in trouble. Pablo with no real escape mechanism left. 5 seconds for swashbuckle, but he's unlikely to have the mana for it. The Avalanche Toss will secure that kill up. Saved his Beastmaster, but wasn't enough. And in the meantime, they lose Hansken up at top lane with Witch Doctor taking the kill, not even needing to use the Death Ward, and now looking for a play in mid. Era, oh, he's just dead. He's actually just straight up dead to this. Bashruk with a solo kill onto the Viper, just like that. Glimpse back into the Static Storm. Should be able to kill off the Witch Doctor here, right? Yeah, gets the urn back onto Hansken, though, as Mastermind chases in. The TP from Pablo slows things down, and they all reset.
What need have I for invisible? Oh, that's quite nice, actually.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Tier 1 time. Is Pablo going to try and deny this one? Are they going to bring in reinforcements? Clark still aiming for the Shadow Blade, and it looks like Pablo alone for now. Tier 1 dying. He's not going to try and go for the deny there under all the ghosts.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Good damaging onto the creep wave. What are we looking at for Era? Is that all he has? 2.7k net worth. Oh, that feels real bad. That feels real bad. This Slark is going to put his team on his shoulders. Shadowblade is up. The smoke from Bashruk. They don't have a reveal, but with the Avalanche Toss, the Maledict is there. Frost gets invis. Going to have his nice little ulti going with the HP regen, and it looks like he will survive thanks to the one charges as well, if it wasn't enough.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But my goodness. Slark gets his Shadowblade and nearly gets immediately demolished. Now you're looking at a Helm of the Dominator nearly here for Mikey. And the tempo of the game being set very firmly by Singularity as they move themselves from objective to objective. Tier 1s have all but gone, with the final one up at top being taken down. Frost invis still for another 3-4 seconds. There's no real opening. Until now, with a glimpse into Storm, Mastermind has been caught. Pablo arrives with a swashbuckle as Frost will have to ulti himself away from danger. The Death Ward will not be enough. Frost thinking about going in again. Adamson here low on mana, but with Solar nearby having that Fiend's Grip, it is a very scary prospect to move forward into it. While bottom lane, they're trying to get in onto Mikey, but Era's not fast enough. He's only got brown boots. Yonasan is there with a Wild Axes and a Roar, but it looks like he's holding on to borrowed time. 4-6. He's holding on to 2 points. Yeah, and with the grip back, Mikey's going to turn this one around nicely. The Yonasan fan dropping, paying for his over-aggression. Era was in a 1v2. It was Viper against the Bane and Tiny. So it was a difficult lane for him. And then Yonasan fan was in a 1v2 up against the DP and the Witch Doctor. Well, the other guys kind of tried to deal with the Abaddon, but
take that.
Mikey still in a very good position.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Usually you're looking at, you know, like a 13-minute, maybe 12-minute Helm of the Dominator. Here, quite a fair bit behind as Yonasan fan gets picked again. The blink of Tiny paying off wonderfully. What is the comeback mechanism now? I mean, the Fallen Tribe, they're not even that far behind in net worth, but it feels like that's, you know, Pablo with these javelins, the Slark with the Shadow Blade going into Echo Saber now. That's where all of their net worth lies. Beastmaster, I guess, is doing pretty decently himself, but Phase 1 Medallion Bottle, there's no big item. There's no, you know, fight-winning or game-swinging item there until this Necro comes out. A lot of his net worth is sunk into these small, incremental build-up items for the laning stage. High ground attempt. It could come. It could actually come right now. They've got Exorcism and they've got this level 1 Curse of Avernus, which is going to be enough for Tiny to whack away at towers. The Ghosts with the Shielded Lady. Move forward onto Pablo. Yonasan fan has to retreat as well. Adamson spends a couple of his Spirit Siphon charges. There's another Toxin. Down on the floor. Glimpse back into the Storm. Adamson, Nightmare, they keep him alive for now, but it looks like the damage too much. Death Ward from Bashro tries to hold them away, but the line has been drawn and the base is where it ends for Singularity. They cannot push high ground like that. The grip comes out to cancel that roll in from Pablo, but they are losing heroes one by one. Catching another as the borrow time pops from Mikey, but it is too little too late. Frost with a triple, looking for an ultra, but it's going to be Era that picks himself up an additional kill. Very interesting move from Singularity. Losing out a good 2k swing there for the final tribe. And Era getting a decent little bit of money there. Helm of the Dominator now done, so he's got that creep to run around with him. But also the fact that Frost is now 307. Unkilled on the Slark. They did do a lot of damage to this tier 3, but I just don't know about committing there. It's like one of those moves where you're like, we've taken tier 2, we're strong and they're weak, but you just underestimate how good Roar and Glimpse and Static Storm are, even on just single targets. Getting that numbers advantage and be able to take the fight from there. You know, if you think about other things they could have done, they could have cut and taken tier 2 mid, cut and Roche. They could have come back, farmed their own jungle, and then cut up towards top, take enemy jungle. Because right now, they don't have any good Observer Wards down. This one, okay. They've got one good Observer Ward down for the Roshan pit. This one's pretty nice. Gives vision across, allows you to see a number of areas, and making entry to your mid lane and also your ancient spots. But ideally here, it feels like they want to try and get some wards down towards the tier 2s and around Roshan. You know, you're looking at wards in this area, maybe one in this spot here. Up on the high ground for the Roshan take. Very important you get a ward down in one of these areas. Also to watch out for the TPs to the tier 2 in the mid lane. Or you could go for the VP ward, the solo ward. One here that watches smokes, watches TPs, and it watches early movements up towards Roshan.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh dear, Pablo. How high can you fly? Glimpse back. Keeps Yonasan fan alive, and it looks like Hanskin going to retreat himself. The kinetic field keeps Mikey at bay. Bashrook's not done just yet. They're blinking forward with Mastermind and Witch Doctor. They're looking for a toss play here, aren't they? There's no TP. Disruptor's already gone. Triple Javelin on Pablo. He's got a lot of damage. I'll give him that. 5.6k net worth sunk into 3 javelins. Oh boy. And in fact, it will be the final tribe that make their first move into the Roshan pit. There is the Eon Disc. So not even a Yule Scepter. That seems very interesting against Static Storm, against
Radiant's
Viper.
top tower is under attack.
I wonder what the decision process is there. DP does have the level 2 ulti now. Eon Disc immediately put on cooldown by Frost with that double damage rune. Holding on to Aegis of the Immortal as well.
Take that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And one of the greatest things about Slark is the way that he's able to move around and kind of guess or estimate, give a good indication of where your enemies have vision. Spot out these enemy wards and allow Hunskin to get in there with the sentries and D-ward. Pablo just continuing to shove waves with the triple javelins he's got. So his farm rate just keeps accelerating and accelerating. He's going to pre-hit the... Oh, he's not going to swashbuckle this one, is he? Okay. He tried. He tried, but he misclicked. Did he misclick? I'm sure he was trying to swashbuckle back, but arrow forward. So he lands here and shoots here. But he just... Yeah, oh well. He got it. He got his blink. It doesn't matter in the end. The conclusion is the same. He got his blink dagger up. So now we're looking at this freaking rolling thunder with blink dagger.
Is under attack.
Pablo's going to have an absolute field day. The shutdown bottom lane, the final tribe, in the driving seat in this game. After what was an absolutely disastrous laning phase, they are now the team that are dictating the pace of play. The glyph from the Radiant trying to keep their tier 2 bottom alive and shove this tier 3 top a little bit, but they're coming back to defend. They're setting up. Mastermind here with Shadowblade Blink. The rest of the 4 heroes of Singularity, though, nowhere to be seen towards the bottom lane. They are walking slowly towards mid.
Trust me, I know how to handle such
Amazing what you found lying around.
Frost in the front, trying to scout out any awkward movements from Singularity. Radiant even scanning into their own jungle. Not finding anyone, though. As you have some fun. He's got his triple necro. But he's at a point now where Beastmaster is incredibly scary for the DP to deal with. I mean, hell, even the Abaddon to some extent.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What's going on with the little mud golems? Was that Era's? It must have been, right? He'll get a hellbear. He'll get a big burly hellbear. Better than a mud golem. No? You don't want the Chad hellbear. You'd rather have some virgin mud golem instead. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess Helmet's still on cooldown. Oh, is he going to catapult? There's no catapult. Nope. 2 more minutes. Oh. Where's he going? Alpha Wolf? That's a pretty Chad neutral creep. Go get yourself an Alpha Wolf. Do they need a Dark Troll? There's no, like, BKB or anything, right? He's got a little wolf man. Let's go.
So, how do I shrink your head for a keepsake?
That didn't happen. Bashruk is still very healthy and alive. He's definitely not dead. Aegis of the Immortal still on Frost for a minute. They're looking to try and force a fight somewhere as quickly as they can. They've found Hanskin, but Mastermind now inside the Static Storm. They pop the Exorcism as well as that Eon Disc very early on. Era arrives, but Spirit Siphons are going. The Roar to turn, Avalanche toss in, but the damage from Pablo. Mastermind's gone and Mikey's in trouble. They've got the ways to kite him around through the ulti, and there is no escape for the Abaddon. Destroyed.
Here it is. Mine.
Absolutely annihilated. Singularity have completely lost the plot in this game. The final tribe. And they know what they're aiming for. Tier 2s. Finish off the rest of the outer buildings. Wait for the next Roshan. Get themselves Aegis and Cheese and then look for high ground in a little bit.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Are they pushing high ground right now? They're going tier 3. There's still 10 seconds or so left on the death timers here, so they've got a bit of time to chip away at the tier 3, but I don't think they can break it and go for racks. Frost is going to work on the bottom tier 3 now, as he does get his little dark pact and pounce away. TFT, yeah, there we go. Some good structural damage overall to both tier 3's mid and bottom lane. And with catapult waves coming in now, they would love to have another Aegis there on Frost, wouldn't they?
I'll take that.
Where's his creep? Did he lose another creep again? I don't see an Alpha Wolf anywhere. Era's he's gotta keep these creeps alive. An Alpha Wolf isn't just for Christmas, it's for life. Got a Dark Troll going now. Farming creep camps for him, slave labor. And Nassim fan, of course, coming in to try and steal away some of the CS there. Well, what does Singularity do? They've got no towers outside of the enemy base to focus on. Tier 3 bottom, 530 health. Could maybe be an area they aim towards. So they're in a position now where Tiny, with no Lincolns, no BKB, no saving mechanisms on their supports. There's no Force, there's no Glimmer. Abaddon here with a Helm and a Solar Crest is good at kind of saving himself. But Singularity, they look, very strong moving forward, and they didn't itemize for any kind of defensive natured team fights to kick off. And all of a sudden, they find themselves in a position where Glimmer Cape is nearly here. The damage output from this Dire team is far too significant for them to just brush off.
What can I do with them?
Hello, Pablo. Having fun? The javelins are just too much. The glimpse back onto Mikey traps him back as well. He's got himself borrowed time and some Ephotic shields to try and bash away at Hanskin, but a quick Static Storm will try and bring an end to Mikey's shenanigans. Pablo lines up the damage and a double kill for Frost. Era elsewhere with the help of Yunasan kill off Adamson. And this game looks like it might just be over. The swing of momentum has been really swift, and retribution has been dealt by the Swedes. Up to a 13,000 net worth lead and around 18, 19k in the experience. And they will get a tier 3 here for their trouble. Skeleton army ready. Dark Trolls and Necros going to work. Bashruk tries to hold them back with a cast. But the racks are naked, exposed and cold. And the final tribe not done just yet. Frost aiming. Bashruk targeted. There he is in his sights. The damage not quite enough as the Ghost Scepter pops and keeps him up and running. Cask again thrown out there, but Era turns. Damage thrown in with a glimpse back towards the Nether Toxin. The Dark Troll chases, but Mastermind saves his buddy until the wild axes of the Beast Man fly through the sky and return to his hands. One full lane of racks gone. One entire Dire team still alive and ready to fight. Priceless.
Dire are scanning.
Precious bounty.
Radiant's top shrine.
Hell, Pablo nearly has Lincolns. And then, Fiend's Grip. Nah. You're not stopping this rolling thunder, mate.
Top shrine has fallen.
It will happen, whether you like it or not.
Precious bounty.
And that Lincolns can even go on your Slark as well. If he's frontlining or if he's pushing high ground, you just Lincolns on him. Make sure that there's no, Enfeeble, no Fiend's Grip. Nothing to catch him off guard before he can get that Dark Pact going. Singularity. They need to make themselves feel good, and the one way to feel good in Dota 2 is to smoke and win a team fight. But equally, TFT smoke, Pablo revealed, blinks away, he knows where they are. And now you've got Frost. Invis backstabbing, BKB at the ready, he goes in, the Nightmare's there, but Solon, even with that shield, looks like he's dead, stacking up stacks for Frost to go ham. In comes the Rolling Thunder into the backline, Devan's caught, and down goes Adamson. What's left for Singularity? It looks like death is left. Bashra throws in the death ward, and Yanasan fan might die to this, but it will be at a cost. The trade-off is there, and a 2 for 4, looking for the 5th as it will be GG. Called by Singularity. Game 1 goes to the final tribe in quite a swing of events. Pablo got his 3rd javelin on that Pangolier, and then the game just ended. Just like that. Just like that.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
More natural position falls. Tusk, Earth Spirit. I don't know about Sand King anymore, but, you know, something with a bit of team fight, with a bit of stun, a bit of control. And his Earth Spirit is pretty damn good, let's be real. Maybe even like an Elder Titan. Bane ET Gyro. You've got a ton of setup there for fights to defend your towers. ET is a pretty damn good laner as well. chase the Pangolier around and make sure he can't get all those bounty runes, which allow him to get the fast javelins early on. Now that's something that the final tribe, they rely on. They rely on Pablo to get the bounty runes, which enables the build that he goes for. As soon as you don't get those bounty runes, and as soon as you die once or twice as the Pango, and if you get hunted down, it doesn't look good, right? The Pangolier only looks good in the past couple of games we've seen from Pablo is because he has been allowed to move around and do all those things. Singularity go for a Rubik this time around. Rubik, Bane, Gyro, and I kind of wanted Rubik in game number 1, but I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about the way Singularity are drafting up against TFT right now. I mean, what are they going to go for as one of their last picks? Do they go Lifestealer and Gyro this game? Because it feels like right now that the final tribe could go with a Lifestealer themselves right here. They could block pick the Lifestealer if it's an option for Singularity. Still go for something like an Ancient Apparition. Disruptor again is a possibility for Hansken to put in his hands. Maybe it's just a clash of styles. Singularity like this kind of fast-paced, objective-based gaming, where they've got these core heroes who come online very early on, and oh, the final tribe Venge. Is that a Hansken Venge? So now they've got Swap and Shield to deal with the Fiend's Grip. They've got some very, very action-packed heroes for the laning stage as well. Like Abaddon with Curse of Avernus, Venge with the Aura. If they pick, you know, like a Terrorblade here, for instance,
5 seconds
it's going to be super hard to defend your towers up against that kind of just bull rush, pure power towards the objectives. Especially with a Photic Shield on TB. And even another swap back into like a Sunder or something. And you've got to be prepared for it.
Dire team pick.
Puck!
Puck is the pick for now. Could go in the hands of Mikey or Mastermind. And the Gyro is still pretty flexible as well. It could be a mid-Gyro still, depending on the matchup.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Go on, just pick TV. I don't think this is a slot game. We're gonna be real with that one. Maybe they want to. Maybe they want to keep the Venge flexible. Oh, they go for a Lycan. Okay, they go for pushing power. Fair enough. And Lycan against Gyro again is one of those heroes that you kind of think, well, Gyro, he's got the flat cannon and all the AoE to deal with the summons, but no, Lycan is just too speedy. The gap close Lycan has on the Gyro is very significant when you're thinking about mid-game team fights. You've got Swap, Shapeshift, and Swashbuckle to basically displace Gyro or the other core hero here and allow this Pango and Venge and Lycan to go in on them. I think that's a good Visage ban though. That Visage could have given a lot of tempo control to the final tribe with the builds that we've been seeing. The Helm of the Dominator, the Solar Crest. At 20 minutes, you're just an unstoppable force that runs down buildings. And it definitely signals that Singularity think that Venge is going to be the hard 5 in this game, which is pretty likely. 99%. We don't often see Lycan mid. And plus one Venge. You know, not that popular. Underlord ban. That's a good, solid one. Atrophiora pretty damn good against any kind of push strats, as well as Firestorm being able to clear out waves.
10 seconds remaining.
They're looking for an era hero, right?
5 seconds remaining.
Does Shadow Fiend fit here?
Radiant team pick.
Oh my god. This is an obnoxious draft if I've ever seen one. I'm thinking, you know, auras with an SF, they've got nuke damage, and they've got catch and kill with Avenge. Nah. Just double down, double. They're just like, every pick is just doubling down on push. Like, oh, we've got an Abaddon, we'll get Avenge, we'll get a Lycan, we'll get a DP. We are going to crush your towers. And our lanes look reasonably good. Like, this final pick from Singularity, I genuinely don't know. I am at a loss for what they can pick and deal with this. Do they have to go for like a TB themselves? Put Gyro mid, and then have a safe lane TB? Because I don't think any of their kind of standard Oz 1 heroes that they like to run fit here. They go for the SF themselves. Okay. So Adamson Gyro, that's gonna be a Mastermind Shadow Fiend. I've got to say, I prefer the final tribe. Seems easier to execute. And again, it's going to come down to the two supports on how well they're able to control the lanes and move around and deal with Pablo. Because again, if you think about it, this is a 4-core lineup, whereas on Singularity they've got 2.5 if you count the Puck. But if Puck gets shut down in lane early on and the Veil or the Blink get delayed, you no longer have that amazing Blink initiation tool you need from the Dream Coil. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Let's just make sure that my hotkeys are properly functioning this time. So I would like to get this little replay feature working properly. Pablo spends none of his money, 600 gold still in the bank, of course, as we have come to know and love from him. Hanskin with Avenge, Era on the DP, Yonasan Fan, Abaddon, and then of course we've got Frost on the Lycan. On the Radiant side, it is a Mikey Puck, so Basharuk Rubik maneuvering himself up towards top. Into mid is Mastermind Shadow Fiend, and bottom lane, Solon and Adamson on the Bane and Gyro. Oh, the Observer Wards. So they are planning now at least to try and deal a little bit with Pablo, so they'll see where Pablo is roaming in the bottom lane. They'll be able to catch his movements down towards Bounty Rune here at the very least. Same with this one. So they are making actions. They are making actions to try and deal with Pablo, right? That's what we talked about at the start of this draft. At the end of last game was like they have to find a way to stop Pablo from just going around and getting bounty and bounty and bounty and bounty, because that's how he gets his javelins. He doesn't die, he gets bounty runes, and all of a sudden he's got 3 javelins and brown boots and he's slaying your core heroes. Something that needs to stop. Something that Singularity need to make sure that they do stop. Basharuk and Mikey, some kind of dual lane up towards top. Yonasan Fan will be in a 1v2 down bottom lane. And that leaves Mastermind in a 1v1 up against Era. We've seen Shadow Fiends come out on top in this matchup before. The Razors do a ton of work up against the DP once you get to like level 3, level 4. On the Shadow Fiend. Simply due to the fact that when... So you think of the mid lane as a box inside that green box, right? That's the kind of action part of the mid lane. That's where you spend the majority of your time. The DP wants to play inside the smaller green box here. Because she gets into the creep wave, she gets Spirit Siphon, she trades hits, and she gets the upper hand in that regen battle. But with Shadow Fiend, the Razors do so much damage that when she's in that box, she opens herself up, not just to 1 or 2, but potentially triple Razors, which definitely can be a massive hindrance for the Death Prophet. And as Yonasan Fan, first shield popped by the homing missile. Nothing really too drastic going to happen there. As top lane, Pablo and Hanskin still lining up for some kind of play onto Basharuk. But for now, it will just be an annoyance from the Rubik and the Puck in towards the Lycan. I wonder what kind of build we see from Mikey. Does he go like double null brown boots blink? Does he go for like Veil into blink? Or Oh, Yunasum Fan dead, in fact, bottom lane. Nightmare into homing missile. What a combo. Takes him down, but top lane, Hanskin lining up. Thought maybe for a play there, but Bashruk just gets his clarity cancelled for now. Maybe waiting for that level 2 to come through. But yeah, like I wonder, is it phase boots puck? I don't see too much off-lane puck anymore, so not really up to speed with the item builds for this hero. But I think, you know, double null into ground boots blink could definitely work out for Mikey here. We'll see what he feels like. Frost dragged back. Mikey stunned by Hanskin. Pablo collecting the bounty runes. But even though they see him, they can't really do anything about him. Pablo's going to have that first javelin very soon as well. As Mastermind sees the illusion rune. Deciding not to go for it just yet. CS-wise, what we're looking at across the board. Green are winning in the laning stage. Dire a little bit behind, but nothing too drastic here. The biggest problem comes from this top lane where you have 3 heroes leeching experience. You're not pulling, you're not stacking, you're not manipulating the creep wave because Singularity are just consistently shoving it into the tower, doing this to the Lycan where pissing Frost off massively. And Pablo with that swashbuckle might have put himself in a bit of danger. He's got to try and drag the wave back, but the damage output, very nearly brings him down. Close to death, but Pablo survives, TP's back home, and leaves these 2 heroes all alone. But Pablo will get himself that first javelin as a deny from Yunasum Fan there. Missed coil leveled up to 2, in fact. Something we've seen from Sumail is the 4-4-1 build. A lot of magic nuke damage or heal coming from Missed Coil, but also just that deny capability. Remove that experience from your opponents when they do bring you down. Mid lane seems pretty balanced though. 12-7, 11-6. Mastermind at level 4. This is where things start to get a little more difficult for the DP. We'll see what Era does to try and mitigate the kill potential that Mastermind brings to the table. See here. SF. You know, we were talking about the big box, right? In this mid lane. That's the big box. And then there's the small box here. And SF is playing outside the small box while DP is playing inside the small box. And it's pretty nice for Era to drag it back over here. But with it now coming in towards the tier 1 tower, it really does mess up where Era wants to play, because there's now a long way for the DP to kind of run back towards the tier 1, and it creates a longer distance for you to be able to get multiple raises onto your opponents. Oh, Mastermind, you've got to land the raises first though, buddy. Unfortunately, not going to catch Era with that one. We should see raindrops come out from the DP now as well, right? Yeah, there we go. So raindrops, again, another tool that the DP can use to make sure she doesn't get absolutely shoved by the raises from the Shadow Fiend. Yunasum Fan. Homing Missile should secure this kill. Mr. Coil not going to come out. Is the homing missile duration just long enough as Mikey loses you all the way? The lift back into death though, Pablo. Javelin not going to save you from the raw magic damage. Game volume is so low. Is it?
No.
Sounds fine on my end. Test 1 2. Maybe it is a little bit low. I can turn that up for you. Just a little bit. Just a little. Frosty Frost. 6-1 charges. Looks like he should be okay here, especially with Hanskin and Pablo arriving. The damage from the javelin. And the Heart Piercer turned back onto Bashruk. Down goes the Rubik. Mikey survives for now. Shrine should be ready for them to fall back onto, but you see Mikey playing now very aggressively, pressing forward with the creep wave. Makes it difficult for them to just go and leave the lane alone, but they're going to have to at some point. Maybe not right now.
A prize.
Yunasum Fan thinking about turning and fighting here. Solon might be in trouble. In fact, yes, dies. Jonassen Fan now sprinting away. Adamson. Oh, the shield is there. Jonassen Fan, can he turn and fight this? The salve from Adamson turns back. No missed coil, and the damage from the tower not going to be enough to bring the gyro down. Barely survives through it all. As the DD spawns down at bottom spot. Could be big for one of those mid laners.
From above.
And it looks like with this mid lane kind of bouncing back and forth, both players shoving their wave in. Shadow Fiend is getting the slight advantage now. 29-17 against the 22-11. So Era just making sure that he doesn't get solo killed by the Shadow Fiend. He is losing out a little bit in the CS battle, but it's fine for now. They move into bottom. Solon makes his retreat as both Pablo and Hansken maneuver down towards the bottom lane to try and make some action, but nothing doing there. Jonassen Fan will get his full wave come to his tower. They would have liked to grab a kill.
Twice as nice.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan. Doesn't catch Pablo. He's deep in the jungle, warding and backstabbing with a DD rune ready. 3 Spirit Siphon charges on the DP, but they would like Hansken to start this off with a magic missile. Waiting for Mastermind to just move into this little area here. As soon as he walks past that line, pretty much dead. Bashrook TP's in, preempting any kind of maneuver here from TFT. Raindrop popped. Mastermind not breaking ranks. They move in now with Pablo starting, but Era raised once. Damage output is good, and Mastermind survives through it all. Bashrook there with the aggressive null field, helping out absolutely demolish Era's DP.
Gift from the goddess.
Singularity coming out of this laning phase looking very good. SF, not really any stacks for him to clear, but he can just slam down a couple of these individual neutral camps at will. Mikey feels unkillable in this top lane right now. He's gone for null treads. No second null or anything. So probably just going to go for the blink. Again, his catch capabilities are very important in this game. As Solon's TP... Oh, baby. How do you escape? That's some kind of magic. Oh, top lane, Frost is dying to Mikey and Bashrook. He gets out of the Dream Coil, though, just in time.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But every single lane has some kind of pressure coming its way. Full treads. Delivered out for Mastermind now. 57.19. What's his net worth sitting at, actually? Well, Rubik. Mikey on the puck, in trouble. Nah, they're fine. They're just playing aggro. Up in the faces of their opponents. And Frost still a significant away from that Helm of the Dominator. But yeah, SF net worth just behind the gyro, in fact. Adamson swiftly moving into the drums. On top of FaZe and Aquila.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Howl level 1. Not an awful spell to steal. But what does a support Pango offer? He is very annoying. He offers a lot of damage, though. It's really all about the damage from Swashbuckle and Javelins. He roams around. Think of him as a reverse Pudge. You know, Pudge hides in the trees, waits in the fog, and he drags the enemy to you. Whereas Pangolier hides in the trees, waits in the fog, and jumps on the enemy with you. So in the same respect, it's finding that individual target and blowing them up, and then you've got the numbers advantage without expending, you know, too many big ultis, for instance. And then as he scales, you know, with Rolling Thunder and a Blink Dagger, he is a very disruptive teamfight influence. With a lot of damage on top of it, of course.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
should be an easy catch here onto Frost. Nothing he can do. Very quick maneuver up the top from Adamson. As bottom lane, they try and make a play onto Solon. Rolling Thunder's coming. Solon, he's got a nightmare here to try and buy some time, and he does in fact time it perfectly. And this will mean that Pablo Yunasan with the borrowed time, he's in very deep, and I don't think he can kill the Bane. Now might be in trouble. Mikey with the orb forward. Low on HP, so a bit scared of Pablo's reinitiation, and that's why. Drops Mikey very low. With a swashbuckle, TFT though, backstabbing top, getting Era online as quickly as they can. They know that Adamson TP'd up here, and cooldown is on cooldown, so Magic Missile in with the Spirit Siphons and the Silence. Ghost trying to go to work, but the lift is up, and Adamson is saved. Shapeshift Lycan sprinting forward, trying to catch anyone there. It's only Bashruk. The gyrocopter has fled the scene, and they will only find one kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And in all this time, Shadow Fiend is pre-farming mid lane. He's got his jungle camped, he's got mid to shove, sitting pretty top of the net worth at 5.2k. Towards a full stat build, it looks like, for Mastermind here. Aquila drums S&Y into BKB. Oh, Yunasan Farm in trouble again. Mikey and Adamson keep pairing up here with a Dream Coil cooldown. And that's what we were looking for. Mikey close to blink. Things getting dangerous for the final tribe. Still waiting for them to hit their timing. Helm of the Dominator is here for Frost, aiming towards the Necro Books. We've got drums nearly done for the Abaddon. Second Javelin is coming for Pablo. It's going to be here soon, don't you worry. But it's the DP. Again, Era has kind of been sacked in lane and doesn't feel like he's found a way to really get into a groove where he's farming and being that big pos too. Because Pablo just takes up so much farm on the map with this Pangolier. He's shoving lanes, he's creating openings for himself, and Era kind of just has to rely on farming jungle. He's been relegated into the jungle by a pos 4 Pangolier. But it's not all downsides, of course. Upsides of that is Pango is going to get levels, he's going to get javelins, and more javelins, and more javelins.
Under attack.
Well, I think Era desperately needs that Yule Scepter ASAP. That feel when you run out of water at the start of game 2 of a best of 5. We're gonna have to go to the kitchen soon. Somebody give this man some boots. He's got the money for it. Solon, go buy your little brown booties, buddy. Get into that slide shop, you know you want to. So, still, timing-wise, we're looking at the next Exorcism. Tie in with the next Shapeshift here from the Lycan. But I'm unsure on where they really need or want to go, because fighting around the pit against Coil, Cooldown, level 2 Requiem now on this Shadow Fiend, who's level 13.5. Yeah, he's 3 levels ahead of the Gyro, but 4 levels ahead of the Abaddon DP, and 5 levels. You can call it 4. Lycan is about to hit level 9. 4 levels ahead, but now Lycan is picked, and the play is made. Bashruk with a stolen swashbuckle. Mikey gets the kill, and there's the Blink Dagger debut on the puck.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom
DP
tower
does get the bottom
is
tier
under
1,
attack.
but Mastermind equally trades off the top. And every move like that Singularity pull off is slowing and delaying this clock that the final tribe definitely feel like they're on. Revenge. Gripped up. As the Rolling Thunder arrives in on to Mastermind and Solon. But Hanskin loses his life and they don't get a trade-off. Now Yunasafan flying through with the ghosts out from Era. They want to chase. They want to get kills. Pablo's there with a swashbuckle. They get Solon, so at least a 1-for-1 trade across the +5s, but in Blix Mikey with the orb damages into the pack of heroes. And Frost, dangerous position. Mastermind with the Requiem double raises. Call down won't quite land as the final tribe retreat. But the tower still stands, and that's the important thing. Exorcism used for a kill on a support, and they get very little.
Where's my prevention?
I was wondering where Pablo's money went. His second javelin has arrived. Oh yeah. That seems very unfair for these creeps. That this observer ward allows Adamson to farm wave and hit them there with the freaking flat cannon.
For the
Absolutely insane. Still a good 600 off the Necro one. Rubik. Wave of Terror stolen. Again, not ideal, but a stolen spell is a stolen spell. And the final tribe just buying time for themselves. Get the Yule Scepter on Era. Get the Necro Book going. And it really is all about these items coming through for them. Whereas on the Radiant Singularity, you know, you're looking at a puck now with Blink and a good chunk of the Yule Scepter already bought or saved up for. Mastermind nearly has the S&Y done, while Rubik looking towards the Ether Lens. Again, they're playing with these kind of 2+5s. No real greedy support, but it seems to be working out much better in this game as the farm distribution. You know, just look at their 3 core heroes, all very farmed. Wait, that was a Diarobs. Yeah, I'm a dum-dum. They just had someone there giving him vision, right? Sometimes my brain don't work too good. A little bit slow. Quick and easy grip. Lycan dead again. 0-3-3. Frost having a bit of a screamer of a game.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A pretty simple tier 1 mid. So very quick at clearing these waves. Mastermind just raises. They've got Flak and Rocket Barrage as Abaddon comes in, but there's no defense to be made. Hera still shoving out bottom lane with Yule Scepter arriving, it looks like. Finally done. It's just this mid tier 1. This really is the big sticking point for the final tribe. Because once this tier 1 is down, it opens up so much more of the map. You know, they find themselves in position to take jungle areas, to ward aggressively, to look towards these tier 2s. But more importantly, Roshan. This tier 1, it cock-blocked Roshan for the final tribe. They desperately need to take this tower down, which is why Singularity have been coming back time and time again to fight around the tower. And even if they trade, even slightly unfavorably, it's fine. This time around, though, they give the tier 1 up. They're not in position at all. Adamson stays top with Mastermind, trying to get into the tier 2. And then the pressure forward from the final tribe, moving into a tier 2 of their own in the mid lane. It looks like they are going to TP back and defend now, though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Swap up. Solon obliterated. Hanskin in trouble. Jumps on. Mikey clears him up. It's the lift onto Yunasafan. Gets his ulti down, but the homing missile is there with the Rolling Thunder arriving. Pablo tries to get towards Mastermind, but it's not going to be fast enough. And Backstroke, he gets himself up to high ground with a shield crash. Stolen from Pablo, and Era is left alone to his own devices. High and dry. He's got his Yule Scepter to buy some time, but it looks like he will finally die. 1 versus 4. As Solon buys back and holds the line. Makes sure that the final tribe are shoved back all the way across that river to their own side.
A little something extra for the effort. Amazing what you found.
Can you contest Roshan? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Hanskin with an interesting pull. He's going to stack up the waves pretty nicely. Catapult, triple range creep coming in towards tier 2 top, so Singularity have to fall back a little bit and address that. They can't just go rushing down the mid lane towards the tier 2 of their own. Mikey will clear the wave very nicely. Yeah, it's not just the Shadow Fiend and the Gyro. They've got this Puck who can shove out these waves all on its own.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Full pipe. Yule's Necro 2. They're still not ready. DPLT in 20. Lycan in 5. Final Tribe would like to finish off their kind of next tier of items before going for this smoke. But they might just have to go for one right now. Try and exploit that sense of security you get from Aegis of the Immortal. SF is killable twice, potentially. Close to 2,000. Well, he will have over 2,000 HP with Strength Treads for sure. Doesn't mean he can't die.
Silence.
Mikey is close to unkillable at this point. Magic Missile, Silence, pretty much the only things that can annoy Mikey at this point. But with the Yule Scepter, he just does not feel any fear. There's no catch for him. So perpetually split pushing these lanes out, being an annoyance from lane to lane. Looking towards mid as well now as the tier 2, likely the next objective that Singularity want to aim towards.
A little something extra for the effort.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Where's Pablo sitting? Just below the DP. But you look at this huge difference in the cores now. 13k, 10k, 10k. The Abaddon is the highest net worth hero on the Dire team with pipe drums. And 1700 saved. Bottom tier 1 will finally fall here to the SF Gyro,
Dire's
putting
bottom tower has
their
fallen.
damage forward.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But full map control seized by Singularity. Every single lane is trending towards this bunker of the Dire base. They don't have many camps to farm, and definitely none to farm safely. This one observer ward gives them a little bit of respite back in this wonderful triple camp area. But apart from that, TFT going to have to make some moves of their own. Bashruk pops out the level 4 wolves and TPs away to go and join the rest of his team. And the final tribe, they will find nothing down in the bottom lane.
Dire's top tower is under
Where are
attack.
Bashruk's wolves? Here's one. Don't know where the other one went. It might have died. No, it's following the Lycan. That's not your son. You've been cucked by a Rubik Lycan wolf. Don't pay child support for this one, dude. Frost, no, you're getting ripped off there, mate. He's following you around and leeching off you. Not how it's meant to be. Smoke from Singularity. Here we go. 4v2. Magic Missile from Hanskin. Just to buy time for the rest of his team to retreat. He'll show himself all exposed in the jungle, alone in the forest as bottom lane. Pablo, I believe, has been seen. Radiant Observer Ward spots him, and now the lift comes in. Really well played by Singularity.
That worked? That worked!
That definitely did work. Not long on the Aegis now for Mastermind, though. 30 seconds at max. As Jonassen Fan pops his blade mail. Tries to show a bit of dominance there. Snaps the coil and pops out with his ulti.
Dire are scanning.
As long as Singularity can keep getting little picks and small skirmishes like that, it's definitely good for them. But the final tribe, by no means are they easy to fight into. When they've got all their ultis up and they are in position and ready to fight, they are an incredibly strong force to be reckoned with. Adamson, Force Staff, try and get away. He doesn't have a TP though, an Era here with the Yule Scepter up. Lift will slow things down, and Adamson speedy. With the Yasha phase drums, waddles himself away. Hanskin with only level 1 swap can't really get in there and grab. But the final tribe, once more fruitless in their endeavors. They're still playing aggressively, maneuvering forward. Jump in onto Mikey from that swashbuckle, and a quick blink back from Pablo. Maybe puts a bit of fear into the thought process of Singularity.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Frost. Alone and dead. Hunt's going to swap himself into battle as well as Pablo arrives with the Rolling Thunder. Potentially, Jonassen Fan is going to die here as well. Abaddon. Interesting decision to go and play aggressively there. They're chasing Pablo as well, looking to bring him down with a Fiend's Grip, and in the back, Jonassen Fan, he has got himself a little bit of distance, but with that lift into missile, with no borrowed time remaining, the damage from Gyro should be enough to take the Abaddon down. Hurricane Pike maybe working a little bit in Jonassen Fan's favor there, as he does get a bit of time to sprint back, try the TP, but the Brain Sap, Solon secures. So Singularity consolidating their lead even further, up to 14,000 in the net worth, and breaching 20k experience with a full butterfly now done for Mastermind. He really is unkillable at this point. BKB butterfly with strength treads, he's on like 23, 50 HP. Very, very hard hero to bring down. And we just haven't seen any kind of objective taking capabilities here from TFT. Next, Roshan, definitely going to be a big objective for them to try and contest or even sneak for themselves. But Lycan, DP, Venge, and Abaddon, these guys want to be on the front foot. They want to be, pedal to the metal, shoving in onto towers, breaching high ground early. And they have not been given any of those opportunities, thanks to Singularity being so damn good with their early rotations. They go for another smoke. Pick and play. Solon will be caught. Bane gives his life for the cause, but in comes the 3-man, 4-man coil. Raises from Mastermind, and the call down from Adamson, landing onto the heads of TFT. But they are tanky in the middle of this fight. Frost sprints away, the DP going to work with the Spirit Siphons and the Ghost flying out and dealing damage. Mastermind brought low, dead as well. Era with a double kill, now shifts attention over to the puck. The phase, the jaunt, the jump away, gets Mikey out of trouble. Bashrook with a stolen Rolling Thunder, coming through onto 2. The flat cannon takes down Era with one more hit, and Jonassen Fan in trouble as well. Bashrook God with a absolutely otherworldly steal. Pablo chased with a homing missile, and Hanskin ripped apart by the Gyro. Singularity, in what looked like a desperate team fight, managed to even things out. Probably still losing out a little bit there. 1,500 net worth to the hands of TFT, but ultis expended is the big deal, as their Exorcism and Shapeshift on cooldown for quite some time. Puck and Gyro, the 2 survivors, as Bane, low respawn time, got back into battle. But there you can see it, how difficult it can be to fight into TFT when they're the ones setting the precedent of the fight, setting the positioning and the dynamic of who is being gone on. Roshan up, Feels like a good time for the Radiant to try and take this once the souls are back on the SF. 65 seconds remaining on that DP ulti cooldown. It's Pablo. Dies back in the jungle.
Dire are scanning.
Dire scan into a DD gyro. Is this a contest they want to take? Yunasan Fan chunked down, a third half of his HP gone immediately. The gyro blown up. Not sure where he went, but the DP will follow suit. Mastermind's BKB goes to work, and now Mikey in with the Yules onto Yunasan Fan. No ulti, just to swap back as the Rolling Thunder arrives. The raises onto Hanskin give Mastermind a triple kill, and Era buys back. Coming into battle, Pablo has arrived as well with that Rolling Thunder. Not enough to deal with the rest of Singularity, though. As Mikey chases with the orb, Pablo has already blinked back and away. Vengeful buys back as well, looking to contest this Roshan even further.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
And here we go with the ghosts. Death Prophet into the pit. Orb to give vision. Mikey thinking about the steal. They're setting up here with Mastermind raises Era. Oh, he's being blown up. And Pablo gets the Aegis. Yule Scepter onto Era. Keeps him alive for now. The one charges. A little bit of health from the cheese. By the time that he needs. And a good run of Atos catches the puck. That's what they've been needing all this time. That kill power onto Mikey. So Aegis on Pablo. Cheese expended on Era. They've still got a little bit of the ghosts. It will expire now. This game got very messy all of a sudden. TFT still pretty heavily at a deficit here to Singularity. But now you can start to feel the Pablo pos 4 on the Pango, right? If one of the Radiant heroes die from the top 3, that is a huge chunk of their net worth gone. But if Lycan dies, TFT don't care. They've got Pablo. They've got another core, the ace in the hole. And he does a lot of damage. Basher, Javelin, going into the Lincolns again, so it seems like that really is his build that he's got on lock. Double damage flat cannon into blade mail. Yeah, didn't work out too nicely for Singularity, did it? Here we go. SF level 25. Tons of damage now. Free rapier. Let's freaking go. Lycan's going to go for a blade mail of his own. Hell, if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. Aghanims nearly shivers guard on the puck, while a full Satanic on the Shadow Fiend. A good little deny on the DD there. Make sure
Dire's bottom tower
that the Shadow Fiend or the Gyro don't get it this time around. That's Frost with a micro. On point.
Precious bounty.
Singularity seem content to farm for now. Scared of the Pablo Aegis. But really they just want the final tribe to overextend, overstep, use their ultis in a less than favorable position. try and find a fight somewhere outside of the Dire base rather than near the Radiant one. If it's a TFT fight near the Radiant base, it is likely they go for objectives and clear tier 3s. As the puck has been found here with a quick bash into stun. Mikey has felt invulnerable for much of this game, and it looks like with a quick jaunt and blink away, he remains invulnerable. The gem is there on Mikey, and oh, Pablo nearly catches him. Mikey, can you jump away from this? Blink is on CD, does get the orb jaunt away. Blink back up in 1, and that phase shift will buy time for it. As the rest of Singularity now arriving. Oh, Pablo's killed Mikey. Where's the gem? He's got it. He sniped the gem. Mid lane, shapeshift, Frost sprinting forward, Mastermind and Adamson on the retreat away. We'll get the purge and force the BKB of the Shadow Fiend there. Final try, they hold on to Exorcism, which is pretty damn big at this point, honestly. Get the gem, force a BKB from SF. Little wins all around for the Swedes.
A little something extra for the effort. Illusion!
Dire are scanning.
There he is. There he is. Pablo finds him eventually. Killing spree for Pablo, but Adamson doing a great job here, shoving out the bottom lane, forcing some kind of reaction from TFT to come back and defend. And there will be the TP from Jonas and Fan. Nice swap. Hanskin keeps Frost alive, even at the cost of his own. Shrug. 3-man coil from Mikey. Stops everything in its tracks, and Era's dead for a minute and a half. Adamson has got that Satanic going, so even with the damage flowing through from TFT, the catch onto Pablo will be good enough to bring him to his knees. Tier 3 falls, and Singularity, just like that, they flick the switch and they say, we are stronger than you, and we will take your buildings. Moving now down towards the bottom lane, should be a double. Raxing up against the final tribe. As really, TFT have nothing left in the tank.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Frost drastically, desperately trying to cut waves wherever he can, but they move up towards top. They want the mega creeps. Jonas and Fan trying to herd them back, but these are no sheep. These are demons, and they're on a rampage looking for buildings. Jonas and Fan is still here with borrow time ready, but there's no team to back him up. He'll walk into the middle of 5 heroes, but with a nightmare. And now, the retreat. Singularity will get mega creeps. And the final tribe looks like they are down in the dumps for game number 2.
Radiant are scanning.
Mikey. 2-man coil again. Hanskin and Jonas. Gripped and dead, and surely GG is coming. Frost TPs with a shapeshift forward, but he's nightmare and called down. And Lycan will have to hide back in his den.
Radiant structures.
No wolf pack here. Pablo and Era coming out with their ultis, Rolling Thunder and Exorcism going in, but Mastermind speedy with that flutter on the butterfly. And yet again, TFT, their ultis prove fruitless. As GG is called, we're going to go to game number 3 here in this best of 5, 1-1. As Singularity tie things up against the final tribe.